Hello, you sexually utilised cardboard cutouts of Sir Ben Kingsley. Jim Sterling here, and this is Dark Souls 3, and yes, this is like the fourth video I've done on it, gameplay-wise, not including Jimquisitions that I've also done on it, but what are you going to do? You could not watch it. So I've collected some PvP stuff that I've been doing on the PS4. This is me being invaded by a watchdog of Farron, which happens in this area, tends to happen. Currently using the Black Knight glaive here. I've been messing around with a lot of weapons. As you can see, the build is very different from the last one. It's the same character, but I did some respecking because I got bored of a Faith build. So I went with this versatile character now. Went purely into high strength, high dex, that sort of thing. Still got a lot of vigor. I think that's the one, or vitality. You know, the one that makes your equip load go up. I always mix up the two V ones. I think it's vigor, because I like wearing whatever armor I want and having a big old shield, thanks. So yeah, collected a lot of PvP stuff, because I like to think I did alright in it. Because, as I said on the last video we did, the last Dark Souls 3 video we did, I don't normally do PvP. I haven't historically done PvP a lot, but got into it a lot on this one. So yeah, messed around with some Blade of the Dark Moon stuff, messed around with some Mound Maker stuff, and that's collected here. This is from the PS4 version. That was me psyching the person out by hiding behind a tree. It's a good. That's what I like about this game. It's not just, you know, skill based, which comes into it obviously. Fucking munched him. And there's a big psychological element. There is one particular fight in which you will see in fact, it's coming up right now. You'll see how psyching out is such a big part. Oh no, it's not this one. It's the one after this. This is just being invaded in the Cathedral of the Deep. Now, I know some people are going to give me shit because there's some Estus healing going on in the PvP. I've got to point out that the PS4 atmosphere is very different from the PC one. There's no code of honor at all. Even, you know, as far as I'm concerned, invaders, all bets are off anyway. But even in, you know, more standardized duels on console, people are Estusing all the time. It's a different code of honor. It's a different atmosphere, different environment. So there isn't that no Estus rule that people have imposed on the PvP on the PC, at least in my experience. In my experience, people are Estusing all the time, no matter the situation. So I just do the same. I don't give a fuck. You know, I'll play. I will play to the environment. In general, I like to let them be the first to heal, just to make sure that we have an accord there. But you know, sometimes I will, and I don't feel bad about that, because, like I say, it's a different thing. It's a different league here, so fuck that. Besides which, as we covered on the Jimquisition this week, codes of honor don't really amount to much on the PC anyway. So yeah, just fighting on the rooftop here against, who is that, Mr. Spaniel, I guess? Anyway, munch them, no problem, no bother. Basically, McSpaniel, there we are, yeah. Basically, what happened with this footage is, because of the PS4 share feature, you know, you can record up to 15 minutes of gameplay after you've done it. Every time I had a good showing, I was like, well, fuck, I want to keep this for posterity, and maybe I'll put it in a video, and now here I am putting it in a video. So this fucker, now, I've edited this for time, but I cannot begin to describe just how long this fight took. I mean, it was more than 15 minutes, I'll tell you that. I think we went at least half an hour, if not more, where this fucker invaded. Actually, did they invade or did I invite them? I can't remember. But anyway, they were in the game and they refused to fight me one-on-one. Like, you know, it's a typical invader thing, because the enemies will go for the host rather than the invader. They want to draw you into the enemy groups. So this fucker, we'd already gone toe-to-toe a bit outside. I've done some time-lapsey fades here. And I didn't want to play that game. I was like, no way, fuck off. So I stood up the top here and waited and kept drawing him over. It was a fight of patience. This thing with Havel's shield, where you turn yourself into rock, wholly impractical, but intimidating, as you could see there. I like to drop it just to frighten players, because if you walk towards them slowly as a big chunk of rock, they tend to do that. Because I remember the first time I saw it, the first time when I was fighting Havel and he did it to me, I'm like, nope. Hey, it fell over, what an idiot. So it's just a good way to shit them up. Again, talking about that psychological aspect of the PvP that I enjoy very much, thanks. So as you can see, I'm kind of winning the battle of patience at the moment. Spoiler, I don't keep that up, that victory, but yeah. So we're kind of dealing with this person who's doing their best to piss me off. I'm using gestures there to just be lightly mocking. As you can see, they ran back down and I went back up here and sat down. Just to communicate that message of, like, I ain't playing around here. This is where I want to fight. Clearly it's not where they want to fight because, well, look what happens to the fucker when they do. Yeah, that's right, you get munched and then you run away. So yeah, like, this had already gone on for so long. Like, so long. And it's still got a ways to go. Like I said, I've heavily cut it. I've put lapses in so that this doesn't last as long as it did, but... And lag wasn't on my side here. Like, I clearly hit this guy a couple of times there. And it was to no avail. I feel like I should have had this one already, but there you go. Then again, lag was on my side there. I'm not going to claim skill got me that backstab. You know. Because you saw just how much correction was needed there. I mean, I may have done it and the graphics just had to catch up with it, but either way, nothing like a backstab to shake the other player up. Or, you know, indeed a parry and a counter-attack and all that stuff, which I'm not. No parry man me, I've said before in the past. Yeah, this bit was weird. Again, I've cut it, but there was a lot of back and forth with pulling the gate up and down. Again, I think it was just to get in each other's heads. I was using the gate to send the message that, look, I ain't going that way. You open that gate and you come out here. I will just keep closing it. But it didn't quite last. Again, this went on for longer than the video suggests. This was at a point where I was already losing my effing patience with the fucker. And yeah, we are. Saw an opportunity to get a swipe in. So yeah, the fight kind of comes down here now, further into the undead settlement. Again, it was about 20 or more minutes out here at the foot of the wall before it got to this point, but I was losing my patience here. Again, lots more cut as this person was trying to draw me further and further into where the workers were. And again, I feel like that should have done it. That should have done it, but it didn't. Many points in this particular fight where I feel like I'd hit them the requisite number of times and it didn't quite work out, but whatever. Again, communicating my displeasure at this person's dalliance and delays, but they went for a quick shot and didn't get it. At this point, I'd worked out that this person probably didn't have any more Estus left. You know, this had been a long fight. I've got more than them. And this here was just a moment of, look, even if you draw me out there, it ain't no problem. 2 stabs and then a quick... My favourite gesture, the welcome gesture, because even though it's supposed to be welcome, it looks more like what? You know, it's more of a what? And there you can see them despairing. I like to think that's what they were communicating. They knew this was over. So anyway, more of this, more of me just like, look, stop drawing me into places, let's just get this over and fucking done with. But they weren't having any of it, and like I said, I was Really annoyed by this point. I wanted this to be done. At this point, the time investment was not worth the potential reward. Trying to kite me like I'm a fucking enemy in the game. And it did kind of work. But I figured, you know, if I could just smack that guy down twice, that would be, hopefully that would be the end of it, and this person would realise that this is fucking done. They didn't. Look at them, fucking sly bastard. Thinking they're all that. Right, see, enemy down. Now what you got? What you got? You got running away. You got trying to get me in there now. Just trying to, like, wear me down one enemy at a time. And they really... they must have... I was going to say they hadn't gotten the hint. They must have gotten the hint that I was not into that. You know, I wanted a fucking one-on-one, but they were... Desperate. That's what this is. This is the desperate meandering. And I'd lost my fucking temper with it. I was done. So yeah, there we are. Almost done. But I honestly thought I was done at that point, but I wasn't. Trying to get another backstab, and then one mistake, and pop. What? Fucking what? Stepped on me. So yeah, that was that. Like I said, that was... You got a very truncated version of a huge fucking fight. Here's another one. Something about mound makers, the purple phantoms, something about them makes them want to be sly fucking bastards. This one wants me to cross the bridge so they can cut the bridge and the bridge will fall. Now, that wasn't going to happen because every good boy knows that you just pop down there and it ain't no big deal. Trying to pick me off with arrows there and then fire a little pyromancy my way. Didn't work, did it? This is... I kept this one because this isn't a particularly long fight, but it is possibly my favourite. Some of these fights you already know the outcome of if you paid attention to the footage that was playing on the Jimquisition. I did use some of these fights, smaller versions of these fights, in that video as stock incidental footage. But, you know, I already had the files on my computer for that video, so I thought, fuck it, compile them up. And yeah, this is possibly my favourite fight out of the ones I've procured for this video here. Just because this person goes down like a punk. It's almost sad. And ironic, it's quite ironic that this person thought they were being so fucking clever, just, oh, I'll get them on the bridge. So of course I thought I'd do that. They were wise to it, because obviously they knew what they were going to do with the bridge. They dived back to safety on the cliffside, and then... Fuck. Death by irony. Pure death by irony. Rolls off the very cliff they were hoping to fucking trick me into falling down. It's pretty good. This was pure chaos. This was someone obviously playing with the, what is it, the finger, the hand, the dried finger, I think it is. The item that lets you just bring in all sorts of phantoms. This was me as a Blade of the Dark Moon, which I've been having a not brilliant time. I know some people have said they never get summoned as a Blade of the Dark Moon. I get summoned a decent amount. Not a great amount, but I do all right. But anyway, me and this person against an Aldrich Faithful, and at this point now 2 Mad Spirits. Doesn't go well. I kept this one just because it's a fun slice of chaos. I don't come out of it looking particularly good, but it was worth it. Worth watching for the fun of it. So yeah, that was Nasty Slice and Bash. At this point, I think I already knew I was fucking done. I figured if I could just get one of them, everything would be okay, but no. I mean, this kind of turned into one-on-one, but they had too good. Went out bad. Fun though, while it lasted. I mean, you more or less saw my entire contribution to that little fight. But it was fun while it lasted. The whole big scrum things, they're fun. This one I kept just because I feel almost sorry for the person who invaded. It doesn't go well for them. So there's our Dark Spirit. They were, respectful bow. That's always nice to see. Figured I'd go for the intimidation again. Just have them see me walk out as a big chunk of rock. But they ain't too bothered by it. But it gave me enough poise to do that. Poor bastard. Gone in seconds. Felt bad for that one. Not too bad. Felt pretty good, actually. Actually, it felt brilliant. I don't feel bad about that at all. So yeah, that was that. About one of the few ways to get poise to work is to use the fucking rock thing and, various items, because as we've discovered, the poise stat was weirdly disabled by From Software. I'm not sure why. Of course, it explained why all my efforts to wear heavy armour didn't work out too well for me. I hope they turn it back on, or at least do something with it. But anyway, here I am messing around with the Mound Makers. This is another PvP Covenant. These ones can attack pretty much anyone in the game. If you beat a certain number of phantoms, you get your reward. If you beat the host, of course, you get your reward. They're supposed to be about chaos. I feel like more could have been done to make them a bit more, even more chaotic, but because otherwise they are just, Rosaria's fingers that can do maybe a little bit more, but not more in a, versatile way, just a odd way. That wasn't good criticism, I just said stupid words there, but, I'm not re-recording it. Do I look like I've got all fucking morning? I've got to play Uncharted 4 in a minute. So anyway, messing around with the Mound Makers, playing with this person who was a better player than me. This person was a better player than me. Make no fucking mistake. Didn't help him in the end, but I got lucky. You see, I'm using the Halberd mostly. Yeah. That person was better, but I won. And that's what matters at the end of the day. Using the Halberds, I've gotten... It's a... it does moderate damage. It's got some nice reach and versatility with the sweep attack, so I like it. It's a workaday weapon. It does the job, and I like that. So here, I stumbled upon some Thunderdome shit going on. A lot of people watching a fight, presumably taking it in turns, but I figured, you know what? Role play it. I'm a mad phantom. Let's start some shit! Like that, so I figured that's my job, is it not, as a Mound Maker? My job would be to disrupt that whole thing. And I knew there was no winning this, because there was four Dark Spirits and the host. 5 versus 1, because clearly they'd come to an agreement. And they chomped the shite out of me. But I feel good about this, even though I didn't come out of it well. I feel like I was true to the Covenant. I feel that's what the Pile of Bones would have wanted. I felt good about that whole thing. It's fun. That was one of the more fun endeavours. Here I am fighting against some other fucker wearing that armour. For that fucker. I hate that fucker. Anyway, this person clearly knows they're parrying, which made me worried. Because that ain't my speed. But what can you do? This person was clearly, this person, if they'd have gotten, were able to land it, they'd have gotten me. They'd have been able to parry me, no worries. But just didn't quite have it. Didn't quite have it. I had it. That made me the winner of that fight that happened. So this, rounding it off, was me summoned as a Blade of the Dark Moon. And I got summoned up here, right behind the dragon. So I thought, well, while I'm here, because there was no getting down safely, I thought, while I'm here, I'll kill one of the dragons for him. I'll kill the pus that's coming out the dragon and do him a solid, do him a favour. I'm sure that dragon was giving them all sorts of shit. because that dragon was still alive as well. I was behind it chopping at its tail for ages, which I cut out because it was boring. Clearly impressed the host there. Gave them a little Dark Moon loyalty thing. I like to roleplay when depending on which covenant I'm in, so I'll do a lot of that. And bang! I felt really good about that whole thing. Killed a dragon for him, and killed the invader with one little slap in the back. Felt good about that. That was fun. That was duty fulfilled. And that's the video, really. That's it done. Now it's just a black screen that you're looking at. So I'm going to go, and I'll see you later with some stuff that isn't Dark Souls related, I promise. Bye!